7 minutes to 7 on the Business Breakfast. And we're looking at the Allsop and Allsop October Market Snapshot. One line in it in particular which asks whether or not there might be some rental relief on the horizon. Very pleased to be speaking this morning to their Operations Director, Paul Kelly. Morning, Paul.
Good morning.
And you've done the right thing by staying home safe and warm this morning. Let's start by having a look at rental prices to set the scene first. What did October actually look like in terms of the dirhams that people have been signing on contracts?
Okay, so the average price across the market was 177,000 dirhams. I can split that into villas and townhouses at 283,000 dirhams and apartments at 131,000 dirhams. So you put that into context a little bit more. We saw month-on-month price increase for villa townhouses of 2.8% and apartments of 3.6%.
And speaking of increases, the number of people that you guys are showing around rental properties has massively increased.
Yeah, so year on year, the amount of viewings that we're doing with rental applicants has increased by 77%, which is huge. But I guess no surprise, we've all read the news and we've heard you guys talk about population increase, and we've seen the roads and everything else, so there's a lot more people in the city, so it makes sense that there's more people out there looking for properties.
Okay, so then how do you see a bit of relief for renters?
So how we see our job with the data is to look at some of the information and see if we can forward project what might happen in the market. So there's a couple of things we've picked up on. We've picked up on a 96% increase in property listings in October. That's year on year, 13% increase from September. So it seems that there's some more supply coming into the market. We've looked at the fact that for the first time this year, I think, the predominant check payment is 4+ checks. For a lot of the year, we've seen 1 check payments or 2 check payments being the main form of people paying for their rent. So that suggests that maybe there's, as the prices are, and I've talked again about the prices even this month have increased, but maybe the affordability of the tenants is waning a little bit, and that's why we're seeing more check payments coming into the market to help with the affordability. So maybe that's an indication of something coming on the horizon. And then we've got supply in what we're calling suburban areas, so the likes of the Mac Hills 2, where there's been 1,500 units handed over this year, JVC 1,400 units, Talal Al Gaf 916, Villanova 814, Ranches 3 640. So I know I've reeled off a bit of a list there, but as we can see Dubai spreading out of the city, there's more supply coming into the market, which again is reflected in the listings data. So we're not saying that you're going out there as a tenant today and there's immediate relief, but maybe on the horizon there's signs of something to come.
Okay, so I want to dig into both of those trends that you've mentioned there. Number one is the increase in listings. It sounds like you're saying there's more listings, not because there's a drop in renters and it's made more property available, but that physically new property has come to the market.
Yeah, correct. So to give an indication on the renters or the clients in the market, we've seen a year-on-year increase of 106% in client registrations. So there's definitely not a drop in the demand levels. It is that there's new supply coming to the market. If there's old supply where people are, for a number of reasons, people go through different phases of life. So they move from apartments to villas. People are maybe in an apartment in a more central location, a villa in a more central location, and they're seeing that as supply is handing over in the more suburban communities, they can get more for their money. So they're moving outwards, which then creates supply in the more central locations. So there's quite a few moving parts in the market. But yeah, in terms of whether it's definitely not a fact that demand is waning. It's just that there's more listings coming to the market.
Okay. And the second half of that is the checks. And as you say, this rise in landlords that are willing to accept for checks. Around a third of the landlords that you are dealing with. They don't have to at the moment, Paul. Talk to me more about why they are choosing to.
No, they don't have to, but landlords have been in a really good position for the last 3 years with rental amounts. So there's a mixture of, with new supply coming into the market, obviously it does create a bit more competition. But if landlords are wanting to achieve the high rents that they have been able to for the last 1 or 2 years, then they are having to accept greater check payments to enable the tenants to get to that level for them.
Okay, 1 minute left with you. We are a month and a half into Q4. If we look very quickly at the sales side, how's she going?
Really good. Same, if I just flick through here and give you some data. So for the market overall in October, there's 6,552 sales transactions. Interestingly, last month, secondary market claimed 79% in terms of the market share, which we usually see a lot more of a 50-50 split with the off-plan market. I personally feel that's down to, we have so many launches in September. I genuinely think it's just an admin backlog in terms of pushing the registration through the land department. But that would be an interesting one to keep an eye on the off-plan market over the next couple of months.
What's your prediction at the moment? A finger in the air for the whole of the year.
For this year?
Yeah.
Next year, sorry.
No, this year, where are we going to land? 30 seconds.
We're equal with the record average price per square foot in the market from 2014. Based off all the data, transactional, client registration, viewings, I wouldn't be surprised if we beat the record average price per square foot in the sales market.
And Paul Kelly, Operations Director at Allsop and Allsop, speaking to us this morning on what they say is rent relief. Maybe not quite now, but on the horizon. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.